This is John Beckham, Prince George's County, Maryland, producer, musician, DJ, and welcome to Beat Conductors and my creative space. We got some vinyl spinning here connected to my baby, the MPC 4000, where I chop up samples, and this is where a lot of my beats come from, and drums, because I live in an apartment complex, so I can't set up a live drum set. I wish that I could. Everything is running through Pro Tools. I have an M-Box. I have a RNC really nice compressor and a preamp for a Neumann mic that we record vocals and miscellaneous sounds here. Everything runs through the Pro Tools. We got two boards here. They're pretty old. Got my little nephew Patrick here. He's 1 year old. Keeps me inspired. Got a bunch of guitars, bass guitars, acoustics. Basically, that's what I run everything through into this main console and try to make music. So in this, what we'll do is we'll break down one of the songs from my band, Lowercase Letters, and we'll see if we can listen to some tracks and try to figure this thing out. All right, so these are the production notes for the song "Give Me" by my band, Lowercase Letters, and this is a song that we wrote from the ground up. So it's not sample based. So the construction of it is a little bit different. Usually when you hear a record, you hear the sample, you cut it up. This one happened a little bit differently. Alfie, the singer of the group, came to me with this really interesting melody. Play it for you guys, and it kind of is the basis of how everything started.
Pretty to look at. Give me something wild to smile for. Give me something beautiful to.
And you'll hear more of that later, but it was exciting when she came to me. It sounded good, the words were interesting, the melody was dope. So before I got too excited, the first thing I always do with any beat is do the administrative shit, like what's the BPM? So we figured out the BPM, we clocked it, it's at 97. I always put the BPM in my delay, which is a good way to keep track of the actual number so you don't have to forget about it. But also, anytime you use the delay from then on out, it matches up to that BPM, so the delay matches. Then we found the key, what key she was in, and from there we realized that it wasn't a regular time signature. And one of the reasons I wanted to kind of dig deeper into this, because it's not 4/4, which is the usual time signature that everybody's used to, but it's in 6/4. Let me play this, and you'll see what I mean.
Give me something pretty to look at. Give me something wild to smile for. Give me something.
So it repeats every 6, which makes things a little bit different. So it's in a 6/4 time signature. We found the key for it. We know the BPM, so it needed a backbone. The first thing that I heard, like while she was singing that, was like these deep strings. So we got these cellos on the keys. Put some reverb behind it. And you'll see it kind of goes with the vocals.
Give me some of you, why don't you let me lay my fingers on.
Right, so, but there's another backbone, and this will go out throughout the whole song. And this one was kind of cool. It happened by mistake, actually. There's a train track right outside my lab. Trains go by all the time, and we make a joke that if we're recording, that means the train's going to come. Because every time we record, you hear the sirens or the horns, whatever. But I actually stuck a microphone out and recorded the train humming on the track, and then chopped it up in the good old MPC and put it at a 97 BPM in a 6/4 time signature, which ends up, this is what a train sounds like, 97 BPM on the loop. And this is going to be the backbone for the whole track. It's kind of this rhythmic, kind of getting the vibe right.
In that, and smell just like I thought you'd.
So once we found the backbone, the hardest part of this was trying to figure out how to make it a song. It was a minute of dope melody, dope lyrics, but that was it that she had. So we had to figure that out. We came up with a little bridge part where played a rotary organ from this board actually and a Rhodes organ from below to give this kind of like nice bridge, which you'll hear here from the. And then it'll come back into the second verse where it goes harder. So the first verse is all Alfie singing this awesome melody with train behind it, a little guitar behind it, and the strings. But the second verse is where I thought we needed more dynamics. So we put an 808 drum behind it, 808 clap. There's all kinds of little dope little tricks I got behind here. I call these frogs. It's really just the serrated wood rubbing against each other. Put a little hi-hat. Of course, you got the train. You got the strings. Got to throw in the kicks. Got to throw in the clap, some 808, some conga, you know what I mean? So this verse is a little different. And then when she comes back in, it's even more full.
Give me something tightly to hold on. Give me.
So that's the dynamic of the song. First verse was kind of just highlighting that melody that we thought was dope. Second verse is where we highlight the melody, but then we bring in more stuff. Then we had to figure out the intro, and we basically took the bridge part and I threw it through an envelope filter, and then I call this a UFO crash. You'll hear all three together, but I'll play first just the intro. Here's the intro part. Throw it through an envelope filter, and then it comes right in. Give me something pretty to look at. But for a transition, I put one of my UFO crashes, is what I call it, and a cymbal behind it. It's kind of a cool little way to transition. So that effect with the envelope filter and the airplane crash gives you a really dynamic intro, I think. So that's the breakdown of kind of how that beat was conducted. And so we'll take it from the first verse where it's really just Alfie showcasing into the little bridge part into the second verse where we kind of rock it a little bit.
I am aching for the sound you're making. Have you thought about me lately? I've thought about you lately and thought about you again. I thought about you, baby.
All right, so that was how we broke down one of the beats so you can hear each of the tracks. This is going to be a more finalized beat. This was off a project that I worked on this year called The Glorification of Gangster. It was a mixtape, and it was the soundtrack for a gallery show up in New York. My boy, the art director at Def Jam, his name's Alex Howdy, put together an art show all about how media loves gangster shit, whether it's Al Capone, 20s Prohibition era gangsters, or it's early 90s Bloods and Crips. Had art gallery pieces all about that. So we recruited all kinds of musicians. We got originals from J. Cole. We got originals from my boys in the Dance Party. It's multi-genre. One of my favorite bands I've heard, Loyal Divide, Lowercase Letters, got a track. But this is a remix I did of off of a song from the soundtrack to 110th Street, which is a movie about gangster shit. And I took a AZ verse that I really liked. Super Gangster, one of my favorite MCs, and throw it over top of that. And then also put a little clip from Donnie Brasco in the front. So we had these three gangster joints all combining for this one track to fit the theme of the art show. So first I'll play the original, just so y'all probably heard it before. And I try to keep my head to the vinyl. I haven't heard anybody use this yet. So we took this one, sped it up, chopped up 3 different parts, took that for the intro. Record skipped because it's 40 years old. But chopped up into 3 different parts and then threw a beat behind it and just let it go. It's one of those samples where you can basically take the whole segment and not chop it up. And and just let it rock and throw drums behind it, time up the tempos and let it go. Here's the beat, and I'll throw in, towards the end of it, I'll throw in the little AZ part that kind of made me choose that AZ verse. But here will just be the beat and the little Donnie Brasco intro.
Okay, when I introduce you, I'm going to say, this is a friend of mine. That means you're connected. Now, if I said instead, this is a friend of ours, that would mean we'll make it. Capisci?
Now, as a purist kind of sample dude, it's kind of cheating, taking the whole measure, but I tried different variations of chopping it up and it just wasn't working, and the sample sounds so damn good and fits to me that I said, what the hell, and just let it rock. And then we took this little medium bridge part and it fits perfectly as almost the chorus to AZ. I'll just throw AZ in there when he comes in just for a second. You can kind of see how it vibes in together. And then right back to it perfectly. So we took, AZ over top of Bobby Womack. There's something perfect about that. And this little part, he just goes. He just destroys it. So I do a lot of cutting out on the beat.
Been Nordstrom's for a fresh pair to floss them, of course, with footwear. I be that first nigga to sport them, caught them before the salesman's even had time to assort them, bought them before any celeb stylist ever saw them. Warm soon as I copped them in the spot, playing possum, debating my destination, lacing, weighing my options.
So, it was just a perfect fit, and it was one of the ones that I was really happy with, and one of the ones that gets a little bit of buzz from that mixtape, just because sometimes shit happens and it happens right. And this remix was pretty cool. Alright, so you've got a little glimpse into my world and what happens here in the corner of my apartment. I want to give a special shout out to the Beat Conductors holding me down. LowerCaseLettersMusic.com is the band, playing live everywhere. Come see us. John Beckham Music doesn't have much on it, but you can learn more about what I'm doing, some videos and things like that. Lowercase LMNOP is the Twitter for Lowercase Letters. And see you guys in the future.